Real Law Unit 1 Sources of Law in the Judicial System. Definition of law. Law is the body of principles governing our conduct that can be enforced through our judicial system. Every civilization has realized the necessity for laws because without the guidance of laws, there would be chaos. Influences on our legal system. English influence. Most of the basic precepts of our real estate law as well as our legal vocabulary have evolved from English common law. The precepts developed by the courts became known as the common law. Roman influence in the United States. We follow the Roman system of civil law. Civil law refers to laws enacted by legislative bodies and codified as statutes. English common law served as a basis for much of our statutory law. Spanish influence. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, 1848, ended the Mexican-American War, resulting in California becoming part of the United States. All levels of government, federal, state, and local, enact legislation affecting real property. Law set forth in federal or state constitutions, or constitutional law, is distinguished from law based on enacted statutes, or statutory law. First Amendment, rights of free speech. Fourth Amendment, security from unwarranted search and seizure. Fifth Amendment, rights of accused. This amendment states that an accused may not be deprived of life, liberty, or property, without due process of law. 10th Amendment, powers reserved for states. 13th Amendment, abolishment of slavery. 14th Amendment, equal protection. An administrative agency makes rules and regulations to implement our federal laws. When adopting regulations, administrative agencies must follow the procedures set forth in the California Administrative Procedure Act, which include public hearings. The California Department of Real Estate, DRE, which is part of the California Department of Consumer Affairs, is the primary state agency to administer California real estate law. Discipline procedures. The Real Estate Commissioner, appointed by the Governor, is the chief executive officer of the department. The Commissioner determines administrative policy and enforces the provisions of the real estate law in a manner that provides maximum protection for the purchasers of real property and those people dealing with real estate licensees. The Real Estate Commissioner can issue regulations to aid in the administration and enforcement of the law. The U.S. Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. Venue is the proper court location for a lawsuit to be tried. In most real estate cases, the proper venue is the county where the real estate is located. The jurisdiction of a court is the authority of the court to adjudicate the type of case and make a decision affecting the parties involved. Compensatory damages are money damages to cover the loss for the injury sustained. Exemplary, or punitive, damages go beyond actual compensation for an injury. They are awarded to punish the wrongdoer for an action that was aggravated by its willful nature, malice, fraud, or wanton and wicked conduct. Liquidated damages. Parties can agree what the damage will be in the event a party breaches a contract. Nominal damages are monetary damages in a token sum such as $1. The court can force a person to perform as agreed. Specific performance is an equitable remedy usually awarded where money damages are inadequate. Rescission is the mutual release of the parties to a contract. The contract is set aside, and the consideration that was given is returned. Through reformation, a court rewrites a contract to read as it was intended to be read by the parties rather than as stated. Using an injunction as an equitable remedy, courts will order a party to cease and desist from an activity, such as a trespass or a nuisance. A foreclosure action seeks to terminate a person's interest in property. A quiet title is a legal action to determine the ownership or rights in real property. A declaratory relief action. It can be brought to have the court determine rights before an invasion of rights has occurred. Arbitration is a process for final resolution of disputes. Mediation is a process in which a neutral third party. Unit 1 Sources of Law in the Judicial System. 23 Unit Quiz 1. Most California real estate law originally came from C. English common law. Most of our legal principles and terms come from the English common law. 2. Reliance on previous decisions is best described as B. Stare decisis. Latin, means prior decisions. 3. Our system of statutes in California could best be described as A. Civil law, from the Roman system of enacted statutes. 4. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act is best described as C. Civil law. 5. The power of eminent domain is based on which amendment to the U.S. Constitution? C. 5th. Prohibits taking private property without just compensation. 6. Which constitutional amendment allows homeowners to place a for sale sign on their home? A. First. 7. Laws governing ownership rights are set forth in A. State statutes. 8. The regulation of real estate licensees is governed in the D. Business and Professions Code. 9. There is no uniform code for C. Real property. 10. The Commissioner's regulations are A. Considered to have the force and effect of law. 11. In adopting regulations, an administrative agency must provide for C. A public hearing. 12. The Real Estate Commissioner conducts hearings in accordance with the A. Administrative Procedure Act. 13. Decisions of the Department of Real Estate. B. May be appealed to the courts. 14. Damages awarded by a court in excess of actual damages suffered by a plaintiff are known as C. Exemplary damages. 15. The California court that has original jurisdiction for a claim of $100,000 would be the B. Superior Court. 16. Most real estate disputes are adjudicated in B. Superior Courts. 17. Most lawsuits involving real estate matters can be described as D. Civil actions. 18. Which statement about lawsuits is not correct? A. The defendant commences the action with a complaint. B. A direct examination of a witness is followed by a cross-examination. C. Most lawsuits are settled before trial. D. If there is a jury, the jury determines questions of fact. Answer is not A. The defendant commences the action with a complaint. 19. Money awarded to an injured person for damages received is called B. Compensatory damages. 20. Equitable remedies include all of the following except A. Monetary damages. B. Reformation. C. Rescission. D. Specific performance. Answer is A. Monetary damages. 21. The remedy in which a person is ordered to cease and desist from an activity is known as C. Injunction. 22. A legal action to determine ownership rights in real property would be D. A quiet title action. 23. Which is not an advantage of voluntary arbitration? A. Savings in money. B. Right to appeal. C. Savings in time. D. None of these. Answer not B. Right to appeal. 24. The process whereby a third person works to resolve a problem but may not impose a decision on the parties is known as B. Mediation. 25. A court ordered all parties released of their obligations. The remedy granted was D. Rescission. May 1, 2023. Unit 1 Vocab Quiz. Administrative Agency, Administrative Procedure Act. Arbitration, California Department of Real Estate. Civil Law. Common Law. Compensatory Damages. Constitutional Law. Declaratory Relief Action. Due Process. Exemplary Damages. Foreclosure. Injunction. Liquidated Damages. Jurisdiction. Mediation. Nominal Damages. Quiet Title. Reformation. Regulatory Law. Rescission. Specific Performance. Stare decisis. Statutory Law. Venue. 1. What is the legal process by which a lender repossesses a property due to the borrower's failure to make payments? 2. What type of damages are awarded to compensate for financial losses? 3. Which law establishes the procedures for administrative agencies to propose and establish regulations? 4. What type of law is based on previous court decisions rather than legislation? 5. What is the name of the government agency responsible for enforcing real estate licensing laws in California? 6. What is the term for the authority of a court to hear and decide a case? 7. Which legal doctrine dictates that courts must follow previous court decisions when deciding similar cases? 8. What is the term for the legal process of canceling or voiding a contract? 9. What is the name of the legal action used to determine and establish property ownership? 10. What is the term for the legal right to be heard in a court of law and receive notice of legal proceedings? 11. What is the name for the legal process of resolving disputes outside of court with a neutral third party? 12. What is the term for damages awarded as a punishment or example to deter future misconduct? 13. Which law governs relationships between individuals and businesses? 14. What is the term for the legal requirement that laws and procedures must be fair and reasonable? 15. What is the name of the California law that outlines the process for challenging the validity of a deed or other instrument affecting real property? 16. What is the term for the legal process of amending or modifying a contract? 17. Which law is based on written laws enacted by a legislative body? 18. What is the name for the legal action to force someone to perform a contractual obligation? 19. What is the name for the legal action to stop someone from doing something? 20. What is the term for damages established by the parties in a contract as the amount to be paid if one party breaches the contract? 1. A government body that oversees and enforces regulations in a particular industry, administrative agency. 2. The set of procedures that administrative agencies must follow when creating, amending, or repealing regulations, Administrative Procedure Act. 3. The process of settling a dispute between parties outside of court, arbitration. 4. The government agency in California responsible for regulating and licensing real estate professionals, California Department of Real Estate. 5. The branch of law dealing with private rights and remedies, civil law. 6. The body of law created by judges through decisions in cases, common law. 7. Money awarded to compensate for losses or injuries suffered, compensatory damages. 8. The body of law that defines the relationship between different entities within a government, such as the executive, legislative, and judicial branches, constitutional law. 9. A legal action in which a court declares the rights and obligations of parties involved in a dispute, declaratory relief action. 10. The legal principle that requires fair treatment in the judicial system, such as notice of legal action and the opportunity to be heard, due process. 11. Money awarded to punish a party for wrongful conduct, exemplary damages. 12. The legal process by which a lender takes possession of a property when a borrower defaults on a loan, foreclosure. 13. A court order that requires a party to refrain from doing a certain act, injunction. 14. A predetermined amount of damages agreed upon in a contract in case of breach, liquidated damages. 15. The power of a court to hear and decide a case, jurisdiction. 16. The process of settling a dispute between parties with the help of a neutral third party, mediation. 17. A small amount of money awarded to a plaintiff to recognize a legal injury, but not to compensate for losses, nominal damages. 18. A legal action to establish clear title to a property, quiet title. 19. The process of changing the terms of a contract to reflect the parties' true intentions, reformation. 20. The branch of law dealing with regulations established by government agencies, regulatory law. 21. The process of canceling or undoing a contract, rescission. 22. A court order that requires a party to fulfill a certain obligation, specific performance. 23. The legal principle that requires courts to follow prior decisions in similar cases, stare decisis. 24. The body of law created by legislative bodies, such as Congress or state assemblies, statutory law. 25. The geographic location where a legal action takes place, venue. Here are some sample quiz questions for each real estate term on the list. 1. Administrative agency. What is the term for a government entity that has the power to enforce regulations and oversee a particular industry or area of law? 2. Administrative Procedure Act. What is the name of the federal law that sets out the procedures that federal administrative agencies must follow when making rules or issuing orders? 3. Arbitration. What is the term for a form of dispute resolution in which a neutral third party is appointed to hear both sides of a case and make a binding decision? 4. California Department of Real Estate. What is the name of the state agency in California that is responsible for regulating the real estate industry and issuing real estate licenses? 5. Civil law. What is the term for the body of law that governs private disputes between individuals or entities, as opposed to criminal law? 6. Common law. What is the term for the body of law that is based on judicial decisions and legal precedents, rather than on statutes or regulations? 7. Compensatory damages. What is the term for the monetary damages that a court may award to a party who has suffered an actual loss or injury? 8. Constitutional law. What is the term for the body of law that governs the interpretation and application of a country's constitution? 9. Declaratory relief action. What is the term for a legal proceeding in which a court is asked to issue a judgment that clarifies the rights and obligations of the parties? 10. Due process. What is the term for the constitutional principle that requires that all parties be given notice and an opportunity to be heard before the government takes away their life, liberty, or property? 11. Exemplary damages. What is the term for the monetary damages that a court may award to a party to punish the other party for egregious conduct? 12. Foreclosure. What is the term for the legal process by which a lender takes possession of a property and sells it to satisfy a debt? 13. Injunction. What is the term for a court order that requires a party to stop doing something or to take a specific action? 14. Liquidated damages. What is the term for the predetermined amount of damages that parties agree to in advance in case of a breach of contract? 15. Jurisdiction. What is the term for the power of a court to hear and decide a case? 16. Mediation. What is the term for a form of dispute resolution in which a neutral third party facilitates negotiations between the parties to reach a settlement? 17. Nominal damages. What is the term for the monetary damages that a court may award to a party who has suffered a technical or nominal loss, but not an actual loss? 18. Quiet title. What is the term for a legal action in which a party seeks to establish their ownership of a property and remove any claims or disputes against that ownership? 19. Reformation. What is the term for a legal remedy that allows a court to change the terms of a contract in order to correct a mistake or misunderstanding? 20. Regulatory law. What is the term for the body of law that governs the actions of administrative agencies and other regulatory bodies? 21. Rescission. What is the term for a legal remedy that allows a party to cancel or void a contract, usually because of fraud or other misrepresentation? 22. Specific performance. What is the term for a legal remedy that requires a party to perform a specific obligation under a contract, rather than paying damages for breach of the obligation? 23. Stare decisis. What is the term for the legal principle that courts should follow the precedents and decisions of higher courts when deciding similar cases? 1. Statutory law quiz. 2. What is statutory law? A. Laws that are created by administrative agencies. B. Laws that are created by Congress or state legislatures. C. Laws that are created by the courts. Answer. B. Laws that are created by Congress or state legislatures. 2. Which of the following is an example of statutory law? A. Case law. B. Common law. C. Federal Fair Housing Act. Answer. C. Federal Fair Housing Act. 3. Can statutory law be changed? A. Yes, only by the courts. B. Yes, only by the legislative body that created it. C. Yes, by the courts or the legislative body that created it. Answer. B. Yes, only by the legislative body that created it. 2. Venue quiz. 3. What is venue in real estate? A. The location of a property. B. The location where legal proceedings take place. C. The location of a real estate brokerage. Answer. B. The location where legal proceedings take place. 2. Which of the following legal proceedings requires venue to be established? A. Residential lease negotiations. B. Property inspections. C. Foreclosure proceedings. Answer. C. Foreclosure proceedings. 3. Can venue be changed in a legal proceeding? A. Yes, by either party's request. B. No, once venue has been established, it cannot be changed. C. Yes, only by court order. Answer. A. Yes, by either party's request.